Here are some shocking laws that are okay in Japan but illegal around the world. Now, Japan is a pretty strict country, all things considered. So when you see something that's actually okay here, that's illegal elsewhere, it's unusual. And stick around for the last one, because it's a doozy, and it could actually get you in trouble if you're here. Number 1. One of the wildest ones on this list here is Japan's age of consent, or rather, what it used to be. The legal age of consent refers to the minimum age a person needs to be in order to be considered capable of giving consent to sexual acts. This was one of the lowest in the world until it was raised up to 16 in 2023. Though there used to be, and still are, statutes in most of the prefectures raising that even further up to 18 years old. But the fact of the matter is, the legal age used to be 13, and it was for about 100 years. Number 2, drinking in public. Not only is drinking public legal in Japan, but it's considered completely normal here. Take a walk down the streets of Dotonbori, Shibuya, or any street festival, and you'll see people standing around enjoying their drink of choice. Oh, it looks like Shibuya is actually banning that, because they didn't like how people were acting on Halloween. One more reason to go to Osaka instead of Tokyo. The street drinking really does help feed into the unique nightlife atmosphere that Japan has kind of made itself known for. So next time you come to Japan, don't be afraid to grab your drink of choice, pick a spot outside, and enjoy it. Since we're venturing into the topic of nightlife, let's move on to number 3, prostitution. So, while technically illegal, I put it on this list because there is a perfectly common workaround that Japan has in place in the form of soaplands. Soaplands are essentially a bathhouse that you go to for the purpose of, you guessed it, bathing. You then book a time to go to the establishment and get a private bath from your employee of choice. You then meet up with your worker of choice as you're led into the bathing area to receive your bath. But, oh man, of your own free will, you two fell madly in love with each other, and you can guess what happens next. If you made it this far, then I take it you're enjoying the video. So if you would subscribe, that would really mean a lot to me, and it would really help the channel. And if you want to support the channel even further, I'll leave a link to my Patreon in the description box below, where members will get benefits like receiving videos early and even getting their name included in every video. Alright, that's it. Back to the video. Alright, number 4, you can build whatever you want, wherever you want. Do you ever look at photos of Japan where you see these traditional looking shops right next to a big building, or an apartment building right next to a whole bunch of stores? That's because Japan has basically no building codes. In the US, you have to keep similar buildings grouped together, you know, apartments over here, financial district here, shopping over here. But in Japan, there's no such rule. Building codes here in Japan let you build pretty much whatever you want, wherever you want. I mean, this does have some limitations, like you can't build a statue of the previously mentioned soapland activities in the middle of a temple. Or can you? But that's not what I mean. You like that spot in the middle of downtown and think it'll be the perfect spot to build your traditional style home? Go for it. If you can buy the property, then go for it. There's a cat. Hello, kitty. Number 5, smoking inside. Personally, I hate this one, but that might just be because I like my lungs a little bit. But there are restaurants and buildings all over the place where you're allowed to smoke inside. There's supposed to be a law passed in 2020 that prohibits you from smoking indoors, but I mean, it's common enough that there may as well be no law about it at all. You'll see in a lot of places there are special rooms where you can smoke inside, but there's just as many places, it seems, that don't have those rooms and let you smoke anywhere at all. Especially bars and restaurants. If you let people smoke inside, it will ruin the building value. I don't care how good the ventilation is, it's gonna get soot and just crap all over the walls. I say if you can't wait an hour while eating dinner to get your fix, it's a problem. And number 6 is defamation. In Japan, you can sue someone if they damage your honor or reputation, regardless of whether the statement is true or not. See, in the US, where I'm from, you can sue someone for defamation only if the statement they said is false. But in Japan, the statement doesn't have to be false. You can sue them anyways. Now, it's really confusing and there's a lot of gray area in here. but there are three main criteria that something has to hit in order for you to be able to sue for defamation here in Japan. Those three criteria are: the statement is shared with the general public, it reveals specific facts, whether true or not, it damages one's honor either socially, their value, or how they value themselves. Mind you, this doesn't apply to just individuals. This applies to companies too. For example, you could go to a restaurant and then get sick the next day. You start telling everyone that you got sick from the food that that restaurant gave you, and they gave you food poisoning. That restaurant can sue you for defamation. Or if your boss goes and has an affair with somebody and you find out and then you start telling everybody, then your boss can sue you for defamation. Even though it was true, even though your boss had that affair, they can still sue you. That one's pretty crazy, I think. I don't like that because that could lead to a lot of nefarious acts. But that's the world we live in. So yeah, next time someone's talking smack on you, you might just be able to do something about it here in Japan. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. And if you are thinking of moving to Japan, then check this video out so you know everything you need to know before you come.